You're watching Griffin Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Weiberg and Ryan Menley.
Hello and welcome. Questions to ponder while wondering if the Kansas City Chiefs or Missouri Western Griffons will ever lose again. Who would win in a fist fight, Brett Weiberg? Jerry Partridge or Andy Reid?
I'm taking both of those guys for total domination of the world, I think. There would be no winner. The state of Missouri would be destroyed in the process. The Chiefs, 7-0, tops in the NFL. The Griffons, 7-0, tied for tops in the MIAA and ranked 4th in the Division II Nation.
Yeah, this week the big bad gorillas leave the jungle and come to Griffin Nation. Hopefully it's a repeat of last year, but something that wasn't a repeat of last year was last week's game against Missouri Southern. The Griffons finally exercised their demons against the team from Joplin. Welcome to Missouri Southern, home of Missouri Western's Achilles heel. The Griffons, losers of 3 of the last 4 against the Lions, trying to conquer and vanquish past demons. Weird things always seem to happen in Joplin, though, and this game was no exception. Opening kickoff, Southern fumbles the catch, rolls around for a while, they get it back, then they fumble the return. The Griffons recover at the 10. 2 plays later, they turn it to points. Travis Partridge to Dalen Harper, touchdown. Western up 7-zip, 48 seconds in. Southern's first offensive play leads to more disaster. Terrence Allen can't handle the pitch, hit, fumbles. Yami Ali recovers. Griffs get the ball again, and 2 plays later again, Raphael Spencer dives in for the score. Western up 14-zip, and we're only 2 minutes and 15 seconds into this game. This thing had all the makings of a blowout, but this is Missouri Southern we're talking about. Nothing is ever that simple. The Lions then get the triple option rolling. The Griffin D having all kinds of problems getting it stopped. Southern running all over the place. They outscore the Griffins 17-3 the remainder of the half. They take a 21-17 lead to halftime. Coach Jerry Partridge trying to remain calm. It's a full moon. It's usually a bad omen here, but second half the defense clamps down. Southern driving, but Kurt Rezegi kills it with a huge interception. Griffs would give it right back with a fumble, but the D answering the bell again. Mike Jordan forces a fumble of his own. Steven Juergens picks it up. He'll rumble for a while. 33-yard return down inside the 20. Great field position again for Western, and the O takes advantage.
Back shoulder fade left sideline, caught on the far sideline by Stephon Weaver. Touchdown, Missouri Western.
Griffs take a 28-21 lead after a successful 2-point conversion. Same score in the fourth quarter. Southern threatening to tie on the 1-yard line, but Arbonis Elliott forces the fumble. John Oglesby recovers. That's huge. Griffins take over at the 1, and the very next play, let's make some history, shall we?
Oh, somebody dropped. And now Travis going to throw it down the right sideline. Oh, Walker's got it. 20-yard line. Down the far sideline to the 50. Josh Walker to the 40, to the 30. There goes Josh Walker. Out running the defense to the house. Touchdown, Missouri Western from 99 yards away.
Walker with 2 catches on the night for 144 yards. That 99-yard scoring strike, a school record, and that's the difference. Missouri Western pitches a second-half shutout and gets revenge on Southern with a 35-21 victory. Western forces 6 turnovers in the win, and the Griffins run their record to 7-0. That ties the best start in school history.
I think our kids showed amazing character. In the second half, I told them we may be down at halftime. We got to keep our composure. Kind of a false lead a little bit. We got a little bit emotional, and then they got it together and got after us. Defensively played really well, made some big stops.
We told ourselves as defense, how do we want to play? How do we want to be remembered? We have to do our jobs every rep and every play, and we did that in the second half.
You get to win close games. I mean, I think people embrace it. I mean, we have the players on our squad that like it, and like the moment, and it's evident when the game's on the line, and people come up big, and they'll continue to.
Walk me through this 99-yard touchdown pass.
Well, our center yacked the ball, and our line, they got a good block. Travis threw a perfect pass and just finished the job.
It took you a long time to get to the end zone. I'm going to take this back to that practice day when I said Ralph is faster than you. I think he is faster than you now.
Ralph's not faster than me. I scored. He wouldn't have scored on that. I scored.
I'm sorry, Coach Partridge. I'll never doubt you again.
All the years of slow pitch softball where, you penciled me in third and we did what we had to do to win those games and win those tournaments, and then you doubted us. I can't believe it.
You'll never.
But I also know that you're a master motivator. and you knew good and well we'd win, and you're just trying to motivate the club.
Not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Go Griff.
Joining us now, Jerry Partridge. Just saw you with Bo. You guys kissed, made up. That's just very nice to see.
That would be a very bad thought to kiss Bo, so I don't appreciate that.
Very bad thought to kiss each other, either one of you. Yes. Hey, how big was that mentally? How much was that needed?
Well, there was it was huge to win any game, but I think a lot of attention was being put on it, so it put a little more pressure on our kids. I think our kids, they're really ready to play. They're really focused. I think the first half we didn't tackle very well. That's what allowed them to get in the end zone. I think their defense created some problems a little bit and got to us and stopped the run pretty good by jamming the box up. We dropped the football quite a bit. Very good reserve. Just total resolve. And at halftime, it came out and played very well. Had a great second half and played exceptionally well. And won a tough football game against a tough opponent.
Well, another huge key to the game, you forced 6 turnovers, 2 in the first 3 minutes of the game that result in 14 points, and then a couple of really big ones in the second half. The goal line forced fumble, Kirk Rezege's interception, and then Steven Juergens, the fumble return. They were huge.
Well, no question, the turnover ratio was the name of the game. I think we lead the country now in turnover margin. And
yeah, plus 18, and forced turnovers as well. You forced 24. That's both tops in the nation.
Yeah, so we're doing a good job. We're playing well in that area. We're giving up some yardage, but we've also, I think, faced some difficult schemes, and we're going to continue to face difficult schemes and teams. But I'm pleased with how our defense played the second half. We turned the ball over, took it away a bunch. We did 1 turnover. We just made a lot of plays at big moments, and they keep scoring the board, not on the yardage totals. We out-yardaged them by a whole lot more last year and lost the football game because we were -2. Well, not even that, really, just the way things worked out.
Well, a lot of big defensive plays. One huge offensive play in the second half that's ultimately, on paper, the biggest offensive play in school history now, 99 yards, Travis Partridge to Josh Walker. Talk about that play. It was a little goofy to start, but it was a heady play on Travis's part, and Josh Walker, boom. And, boy, you talk about, I don't know that put the plug in the jug, as Bob Worf would say, but, boy, that really, really shoved the momentum to the side of the black and gold.
It didn't put the plug in the jug, but it got the plug out.
It did.
And got in position.
Yes, it did.
But big swing, because they look like they're going to score. They're 3rd and goal. Barbanis makes the big hit, fumbles it. Oglesby gets it. And immediately I said to Throck, I said, take a shot. And I think Throck was already thinking, we're going to do it. And but it wasn't quite the shot I was thinking. I thought we'd go play action post or something like that. And then we always, most people will do that when you're backed up. You go hard count because so what if your legal procedure and your kid jumps? So what? You move it back a half a yard there. I mean, it's all splitting hairs then. So you have a chance maybe to get a 1st and 5. Usually we will not snap it when it happens. One of our assistant coaches told Jeremy Jacobson, hey, look, if he jumps, snap it. Well, he jumps, Jeremy snaps it.
No one moves.
No one moved.
That was weird.
No one moved, and honestly, they didn't call offsides, and it probably was. Thank God Travis was on the same page, because if Travis was on the same page and his hands aren't ready, it could be a fumble in Southern ball. Jeremy Jacobson, Travis move, Josh Walker and his corner move. I think there was a lot of Missouri Southern was basically feeling like it was a legal procedure, and it was said to media, but no, there was no illegal procedure there. It was a legitimate legal play.
And you can tell from our angle, there was nothing on our
guards, tackles, and Reggie Jordan. Nobody left their stance till the ball was in the air, and they're like, what happened?
Okay, well, you get off of that for a school record touchdown pass. It puts you at 7-0. Now you try to go 8-0. To do that, you got to get past Pittsburgh State. They're leaving the jungle, coming to St. Joe. We'll talk about the Gorillas when we come back.
St. Joe's really produced quite a few professional athletes in the last few years. One thing they all have in common is they've all walked through our doors here at Spine and Sport.
I've done stuff that I've never done at any other physical therapy place, and I've been to a lot of physical therapists.
I recommend Spine and Sport because of Fred. He has a passion for his athletes.
I would recommend Spine and Sport to anybody from your average athlete to your professional athlete.
Train like the pros at Spine and Sport.
Break bone, your leg bone connected to you. Knee bone, your knee bone connected to you. Thigh bone down here, the butt of the Lord.
It's all connected.
Connected to you. Hip bone, your hip bone connected to you. Backbone, your backbone connected to you. Shoulder bone down here, the butt of the Lord.
It's 7-0 versus 6-1. Number 4 in the nation versus number 12 in the nation this Saturday as Pittsburgh State makes the trek to St. Joe. The Gorillas coming off their first loss of the season last week to Northwest. The last time these two teams met, October 20th, 2012, where the Griffins made history in the jungle, handing the Gorillas their worst home loss in 90 years. A 63-14 beatdown. What's it going to be this year, Bo?
Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em, stick 'em, ha ha.
Well, Beatboxing with Bo is back, surprisingly, after last week's debacle. Bo, I'm still trying to wrap my hands around that. What happened? You picked against the Griffons?
Psychological warfare.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Well, this week, no psychological warfare this week. A very, very good Pittsburgh State team comes to town. I know you've broken down the tape. What's it going to be this week, Bo?
63-14, Missouri Western rolls.
Bo. It's Pittsburgh State. Nobody beats the Oh, wait.
Total gorilla pain.
Well, Bo's back on the bandwagon.
You knew he would be.
He's all over the place. I'm very, very disappointed in him right now. He's not very consistent. So thanks, Bo, for motivating him. Appreciate it.
Well, he had to take a week off from doing that.
There's no way it'll be 63-14. I just hope we win by half a point.
Bo doesn't need to give them any more motivation. You've won 5 of the last 7 against Pittsburgh. That's a pretty impressive stretch. Last year, you were coming off that upset loss to Southern. You responded with that win that basically just set the tone for the rest of the season. But no one goes there and wins 63-14. What do you remember from that? Explain it still. Can you explain that?
No, I don't. I can't. I think both teams had their backs to the wall. I think both teams were licking their wounds. I don't think they felt very good about it. They lost a big lead against Northwestern, lost in Arrowhead. We'd gotten beat by Missouri Southern. Did not feel very good about ourselves going into their biggest crowd ever on homecoming. I do think they had some illness run through their coaching staff. Honestly, I talked to Tim Beck before the game. He'd been sick all week. So maybe that was the advantage, that their leader wasn't there for 2 or 3 practices. I don't know. I have so much respect for what those guys do and who they are. And I've always had respect for their coaches and their crowd and their fans and all they're about, honestly. I've always respected it. And to win like that was a very moving and kind of humbling moment to play that well at that place. And
well, they're a complete football team. They're good offensively. They're good defensively. They're well coached. They have arguably one of the best offensive weapons in the entire country in John Brown. Just talk about them on both sides of the ball and the challenges they present.
Well, John Brown is the very best opponent we'll face all year, no doubt about it. He's a great football player, great return man. That's a factor in that part of it. He's a factor. He's got great hands, runs good routes. He's very fast, runs well after catch it. Very complete football player. We've had probably 2/3 of the NFL come through our place, NFL scouts. And every one of those teams, I say, if you've been to Pittsburgh, John Brown is a player. I know he's not very big, but he's a player. And he's good. And I'm real impressed with Abinoa, their quarterback. I think he's playing very well. I've made comparisons to Travis before with him, and I think actually Tim Beck kind of makes comparisons like that too. And he's had Abinoa, he told me he's had Abinoa kind of watch Travis and see. And I think he's good. I think he's executing really well, and he's running well. The tailback kid they got, the UNO transfers, are a good player, Seabold. They have a very good defense, a very experienced football team on defense. I feel like Nate Dryling's been playing there 9-10 years. I've got respect for their D coordinator, Dave Wiemers. He's very good. I mean, they're very good. And they lost a tough football game Saturday. I hope that it takes them a week to get it together, but I don't think they will. They'll be ready to play on Saturday. And like you said, everywhere, if you look at this conference stats, everywhere, they're in top 5 and everything, maybe in top 3 and everything. They're just very good, very sound everywhere on their football team. Keys
to the game for the Griffons, what the Griffons need to do well to win this game.
Well, we got to somehow limit the big plays. I mean, it's going to be difficult because John's so good, but we've got to be sound, stop the run, make them one-dimensional, which is very difficult to do. And then they're very good at that part of it too. We got to keep their score low enough that our offense can get enough points against their defense. I mean, can't turn it over, can't beat ourselves. I think the team that is mistake-free the most will win the football game.
We talked about this a little bit last year too, surrounding Military Appreciation Day is this Saturday. Just the guys will be wearing the camo uniforms and some really neat-looking red, white, and blue Griffin helmet decals. Just talk about what that means.
Well, I thought it was a good look last year. Our camouflage. I don't know what we're camouflaging with, other than the field maybe, but the
black and gold camo. Yeah. It was such a good look. You went with it a couple times.
Yeah, we went one more time. Yeah, and the kids wanted to do it, and so it's great to honor the military anyway, and that's what it's about. It's Military Appreciation Day. I'm hoping they have some of those the gunnery up on the hill, and because I'll make sure the refs know that I've got that thing aimed right at them if they screw up.
Beautiful. Let's threaten refs on GSI. I don't think we can do that.
I did last year. I told them
that'll be buzzed out by our Kramer
yes,
later.
Yeah, it will.
But one thing that won't be buzzed out, what it's time for? It's time for Esely's Tantalizing Trio. It's
can't wait.
We've got steak soup today. I know how much you like steaks, so
I'm not sure why this is talking about all the time.
Well, because
he explains every week.
Tantalizing Trio. It sounds like a menu you go get at a restaurant, so we always have to have a feature. And this week it's steak soup.
Do we really have to go through this every 3 weeks where you have to ask that?
Well, guess what? You're a football coach. We're going to ask you some football questions today, and I'm just curious. This new targeting penalty, knock on wood, we haven't seen it in one of our games. What are your thoughts on that?
You just jinxed that too, by the way.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I agree that we've got to find a way to make our game safer. I think it's very difficult what they put in there. I think NCAA follows the NFL, what they do. It seems like too much instead of making our own decisions. I think probably what needs to happen with it is don't eject kids. That's what I feel. Flag if that's what you think you need to do, and then evaluate it on Monday. And if you feel like it's time to eject them, you eject them for the next week.
Speaking of personal fouls, and Jerry Partridge's playing days, did you pick up any personal fouls when you were on the field?
I got a very soft late hit one time. I can't remember who it was against. The kid was on his back. The ball was rolling around his stomach. It was free. And I saw it free. No one else saw it free. So I dove on the top of him to get the football. Had the ball, and the ref called personal foul on me because he thought he was down. He didn't see it.
And finally, I know you were in the film room yesterday.
Hence my constant tension with referees.
Did you ever have excessive celebration by playing with the cannon?
No, I've never done that.
Okay.
I've never done that.
And
I was raised better than that.
Others member of your family have. So.
I know you were in the film room yesterday. Probably didn't see this. Did you see the personal foul at the end of the Patriots-Jets game in overtime?
I saw.
Did you know that rule?
I know you're not supposed to be able to aid them, yeah, but the NFL's got some real quirky rules like that. There's a lot of weird, strange rules, like you can't have unbalanced one way or the other on punt kicking formation. So I'm not sure of all of them, but I know you can't shovel a guy through there and you can't interlock hands. I know it's personal foul, but the NFL again has different rules.
Bill Belichick didn't know.
Are you sticking by your Chiefs prediction of 9-7? So they're going to go 2-7 the rest of the way.
I'm going to elevate it to 10-6.
10-6.
10-6.
Okay.
So they're going to go 3-6 the rest of the way.
You know, 31 teams in the NFL have started 7-0 all time, and all 31 have made the playoffs. So.
I hope 10-6 is good enough.
Jerry Partridge,
let's another week.
8-0 would be good enough.
Would be good.
Saturday against Pittsburgh State.
So. Be difficult.
Kickoff 1:30. We'll see you there. We'll be right back.
I met Gerald in 2010. He came to me after an injury he sustained in Afghanistan back in 2008. And he described to me as he was in his Humvee and got blown up by a roadside bomb, and that he broke his back, he broke his hip, separated his shoulder. Working with a Special Forces soldier, to think about the demands that he's got to go through. It's a whole nother concept of training like the pros.
So I've had really good progress. But it's been amazing, especially coming up here, working, utilizing the pool for the buoyancy factor, especially at the beginning, to kind of help the actual healing process. I've kind of transitioned from actual mobility to stability, and lately onto strength and resistance and cardiovascular training.
And it took him 2 years and multiple surgeries, but it was fun to see him go from broken to back in the Special Forces doing what he does best, and that's serving the country. And he was a great inspiration to all of us to see him go through that transformation.
Amanda Booner here with 13 kills. How did you feel about that, even though they really weren't that hard, not compared to mine?
Well, you know, I tried to hit as hard as you, Lindsay, but I
Sometimes you just can't.
By the way, you're a bad person.
Well, bad people, but really good teams. Griffin Volleyball saw its 6-game winning streak end last Saturday at UCO, but they have climbed back to 500 on the season. They're now 11-11 overall. After a road trip Tuesday to number 8 Nebraska Kearney, the Griffins are back home this Thursday night against Pittsburgh State and this Saturday night against Washburn. 7 o'clock start times for both games. And Pink Week continues for Griffin Athletics. You can buy your shirts and your ribbons with all the proceeds going to the Heartland Breast Center. Welcome back. October, of course, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yes, it is. And Griffin Baseball also had a part in Pink Week with a special Night on the Diamond.
Our peak out night for breast cancer awareness. In fact, for today, many of the moms that we had, grandmothers, and one mom of one of our kids who are breast cancer survivors. We asked them to come out and throw our first pitch for us. And
about 2 years ago, 2 summers, and then she beat it that summer, so we're good.
I am a 2-year breast cancer survivor. It'll be 3 years this coming June. It's a great honor to see all these people here together today. Women older than me, younger than me, and we've all had our own struggles, and it's just so inspiring that Coach honored us today.
Pretty awesome, when you get to be out there with your grandma, somebody that's done so much for you, and you get to kind of give back almost, say thanks for supporting me over the years, and my turn to support you for, getting through everything. So
she got an arm?
I think so. I mean, I've never really seen it. I haven't played catch much, but we'll find out.
It was fun. I actually made it at least in the right direction of my son, and he actually caught it, so that was pretty good. He's a freshman this year, so it's a big deal for us here, and I feel blessed every day that I'm still here and can enjoy this part of his life.
Anything for them and their courage, their perseverance through what they've done, I had to go through. I mean, anything that we can do to help that cause, and we're going to try it.
Coach Buzz Verduzco hopes to make his night an annual event in the fall, and it was a really neat deal.
Yeah, very cool idea. Meanwhile, the annual winter tradition getting warmed up. Basketball practice is officially underway. Last week we showcased the New Look women under second-year coach Rob Ebbison. This week it's the New Look men under new head coach Brett Weiberg.
It's exciting for me. It's different for me, you know. I've been at the same spot for 12 years, and so coming here and doing something a little bit different, in a different setting, but it's really, really exciting.
It's been a little bit different. It's been fast. We want to get out to people this year.
Great basketball to me is seeing a team that's unselfish, seeing a team that believes in each other, seeing a team that's willing to play every possession like it's their last possession. You know, we like to guard. I mean, so a lot of what we do, a lot of what we're doing here in the preseason is just kind of establishing the importance of defending and competing every single possession.
I think our quickness and our defense. We play D every game. I don't think there's nobody that's going to beat us.
As a team, we talk about it amongst ourselves, and that's what we really trying to focus on is not letting someone score on you.
Guys will hear me all the time say, we don't want them to score. You know, I mean, that's what, I mean, we literally don't want them to score. That's what we're trying to do, is get them to play every possession at a high, high level. And if you do that, then you'll have a chance to win every night. And it's a great, great league. It'll be a challenge every night. But I truly do believe we have good enough guard play to keep ourselves in games and to allow ourselves to have a chance to win game every night. It doesn't matter who we're playing. If we can figure out a way to make some shots and rebound the basketball, we'll give ourselves a chance.
You get your first official glimpse at both the Griffin men's and women's basketball teams next Wednesday, October 30th for the annual tip-off.
Hard to believe it's our 10th annual. I think you actually played the media faculty game in the first
very
annual.
First year, yeah.
Neat deal, free admission at 7 o'clock in the Fieldhouse on October 30th. And the first 500 fans, free t-shirts, free refreshments, free pizza, and free night of fun. A lot of neat things going on.
It's like Midnight Madness without the midnight.
It is. It is. You don't stay up till midnight.
No, not at all. We'll be right back.
The most helpful physical therapists in the world on Dodgeball.
You'll never know when three-dimensional flexibility will come in handy. Stay healthy, my friends. That beautiful October day at the St. Joseph Country Club, that's if you're into golf or random attacks with dead vegetation. Missouri Western hosting the Drury Inn Central Region Invitational. 20 teams and more than 100 golfers make up the event. Junior Derek Hawkins was the top Griffin in the field. He shot a 3-round total of 225, finished 12 over for the tournament. That tied him for 22nd individually. The Griffons finished 11th as a team. This veteran group closes its whirlwind fall schedule and will return in the spring with some goals to shoot for.
I feel like we're close, but the competition is just pretty good in our conference, and we just need to improve and keep building.
Consistency, that's the main thing.
The consistency will come with a new head coach. Greg Dillon took over the men's and women's programs in early September and has hit the ground running. Dylan, a longtime PGA pro, came to Missouri Western from Colorado State Pueblo, where he was a 3-time Conference Coach of the Year on the women's side. Now in St. Joe, he plans to mold the 2 teams into one consistent program.
It's Griffin golf. It's not men's, it's not women's, we're golfers, and that's I want to make sure that we progress as a team more than anything else, and I think that as time goes on, we've got the kids to do that. I know that we have a fall season and a spring season, but we're going to keep them active all the way through. It's just a progression from getting into the PGA to getting into the business end of it, and now watching the game of golf transition to where it needs new players. I mean, what better place to be part of junior golf than to be an NCAA Division II golf director?
Welcome back and welcome to Coach Dylan. Griffin Golf has churned out a lot of good ones, Brett, including Bryce Garnett, who's just beginning his career on the PGA Tour.
He's made both cuts, too. Made some money as well. And speaking of the next level, Spine and Sports Fred Schonkweiler's back to talk athletic profile testing in this week's Train Like the Pros.
All right, test number 7 of our functional movement screen. This is the last test, so before we do this, let's recap Dalton's scores. 21 is a perfect score, but 21 is hard to get. We don't expect that. 14 is the cutoff point for injuries. Research shows us that under 14 is people are at risk for injury. So as we go into this last test, Dalton's shooting to get above that line. This test is called the rotary stability test, another core test. Dalton's going to go down into a quadruped position. We've saved the hardest for last. As Dalton does this, he's got to maintain contact with that board, and he's got to raise up his left hand and his left foot at the same time and maintain stability. But because Dalton rotates off of that plane, he loses that stability. So Dalton is not going to score a 3 on this final test. This is an extremely difficult test. As we now take Dalton to level 2, we're going to alternate his left hand with his right knee. So now as he goes up, we're going to lift at a diagonal. He can do that. He maintains his stability, so we're going to ask him to knee to elbow 3 times. And as he's kneeing to elbow, that's his core that has to maintain that stability. He's got a little range of motion through his hip and his shoulder. Dalton does that really well. He gets a score of a 2 on this test. So Dalton's final score is a 14 out of 21. That's right at that cutoff point for injury prevention. We look at the sum total of those scores, we identify the weak links, and now we got to get to work. Now we got to give Dalton a prescription of exercises, techniques, physical therapy to help improve that score. Because when we're at Spine and Sport, we want to prevent injuries, train like the pros.
Griffin Soccer's wrapped up its home season for 2013. It was senior day last Sunday. 4 Griffins sang their final goodbyes to Spratt Stadium, including goalkeeper Raylyn Garcia, forward Marissa Nolan, defender and 4-year player Alexa Adams, and 5th-year senior Ashley Jurovich. Jurovich, one of the top goal scorers in Griffin history. It's been a roller coaster career and an emotional goodbye.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think today would ever come, and it's here and it's weird. Definitely, for all of us. I've met so many great people here, like my team. I love every single one of them I've met, like from my freshman year till now. I just couldn't ask for better people.
We were talking to the team the other day about what it means to be a senior and what senior night means to us, and it's not something you can really explain to people until you're at that point. We've spent like so long playing this sport, and I mean it's hard to even fathom like not being able to play it anymore. So it's a weird feeling, and I really don't think it's going to hit me until next year when I'm not back playing.
It's hard. It's one of those bittersweet days. It's great to see them moving on with their life and getting that degree and so forth and getting out in the real world, but it's going to be hard not having them around.
Hey, welcome back. No time for role play this week because we got a lot of other stuff. It's like Military Appreciation Day this week, this Saturday. We got Max Griffin back. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh State.
Eating the hat.
Don't eat the hat.
That serves you
yeah,
right.
you picked that up. Pittsburgh State 130. You got the Military Appreciation Day we talked about all season long, and the camo hats, the camo jerseys, the red, white, and blue helmets.
You're going to be painted up camo-wise too, right?
Probably not.
You know what? It's going to be a neat day. Weather looks good. Opponent, enough said. Pittsburgh State 130 kick, and yeah, a lot of neat things going on. It'll be a patriotic halftime show from our band. The big American flag is going to be spread out for the national anthem. And
lots of stuff from Missouri National Guard there too.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without the support of the Missouri Army National Guard. So it's going to be a really neat day at Sprint. We hope you're there as well.
And Max has got the hats. These things are actually, we were talking about selling these a couple weeks ago. They're sold out. At least the ones that are in supply are sold out.
Those are.
You can come and order them at the game and get yourself one for the rest of the season. Nice red, white, and blue. Whoops. Oh, great. NCAA compliance police is back. Eric Kramer, what did we screw? Yeah, what did we screw up this week?
Lost time. Can't wait to hear it.
All right, guys. I already told you once. You cannot sell anything. Anything. Hats. It doesn't matter. You cannot sell anything. We already talked about this. Not again.
Oh, I forgot about the selling part. Actually, that's on my receipt here, man. You're not supposed to sell. We told you that.
Sorry.
You get caught at the door.
We weren't selling anything.
Guys, you cannot threaten officials with bodily harm, especially heavy artillery. That's just not going to work. We're going to have to talk to Jerry Partridge about this, and I think he's going to get fined.
What else?
After last week's debacle, we cannot use the words total pain anymore.
He picked with his heart.
He did. That was psychological warfare.
But somebody's got to go tell Bo.
What is that you wanted to tell Bo?
Maybe we're going to let that slide.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I probably would do that. No chance.
Bo, I'm actually glad you're here. That belt, that belongs to Max, Bo.
You tell Max to come get his belt.
Yeah, we may let that slide as well.
You know what? I could take our stat police here if they just learn you don't mess with Bo.
You don't mess with Bo, do you?
No, absolutely not. Well, hey, actually, you really don't mess with Bo.
You don't mess with
Pink
Bo.
Week this week. Military Appreciation Day this Saturday. We'll see you then and next week.
Go Griffs.
Total pain.